I think you're a hater. Haters everywhere we go. Haters everywhere we go. Haters everywhere we go. Where we go, haters going down for the count. Looking at the ground. I think you're a hater. I think you're a hater. Haters everywhere we go. Haters everywhere we go. Haters everywhere we go. Haters everywhere we go. Where we go, haters going down for the count. Looking at the ground. I think you're a hater. I think you're a hater. Haters everywhere we go. Haters everywhere we go. Haters everywhere we go. Where we go, haters going down for the count. Looking at the ground. I think you're a hater. I think you're a hater.
I feel you, karate body. We got to cover. We got to pick on.
Haters everywhere we go. Where we go.
And if you was instead of hating, you be ballin' too. I know you seen us falling through. All the rich niggas is all my crew. Fuck it, they can't touch us. If stuck up is what you call it, cool. Ooh, you should've seen when I came down in that. Black on black, cause it's greater haters face down on the mat. Splat, yeah, I can make a green nigga mad. Quick, fast, flash like 10 cash.
Got my partner full count about to pull up. Big Mike, real talk.
Show you how to get rich. You got a weak arm, I show you
Big homie about to pull up. Full count about to pull up, boy.
I don't know about shit. Hey, God, I'm fly.
We rock on each other's platform, you know.
When it's stunting, man, it's nothing like air. Homie, hold it right there. Homeboy,
The uppercut to the pull counter, to the pull counter to the uppercut. I feel you, karate body, man. Hey, baby, now. About to get it.
I got one in the back, I got one in the front. I make them do what I say. They tell me say what I want.
Just to everybody here, though.
Get your money,
Make
girl,
y'all
and just
smack
stop
that like
breathing.
button,
Cause
son.
if it ain't about that dough, it ain't about me.
About to go ahead and start cooking.
Like myself, I get that paper and women. Man, your woman probably out there with some paper.
Hell yeah, that's
Listen,
one.
you're looking at a real
Hell
girl,
yeah,
that's
that's
my
one.
old women. And they'll tell you
I
no
lost the car as well, man. I lost the whole car, brand new.
Put me in the game, woman, if he ain't paying.
Cash crypto salute.
Playing, I'm saying, broke dudes only make jokes funny. I make more than I can fit in this quote, honey.
Hey, one thing about it though, Cash Crypto, we won't have to put as much on it. But the line gonna be real different. Salute. Let's get it going. My boy Pool on the way. But shit, one thing about this, right? We won't have to put as much on it because shit. The way that thing was, that line about to be outlandish. Salute all things. Salute to my guy, the Kiki. Salute. Yeah, Omega Red, salute, King. Yeah, we just now getting in. Waiting for my partner to get up here. Yeah, that's one thing we had to say, kid. Like, Derrick James done spread himself kind of thin. Like, he's splitting his time up between 5 fighters. He got Anthony Joshua. Now he got Ryan Garcia. He got Earl. He got Jamil. And he got he got Ryan Garcia, AJ, Jamil, Frank Martin. You know, he got a little stable with him. And if you know Frank Martin looked a little different his last fight too, but he was fighting against a quality opponent. But yeah, Derrick James need to get some help down there. He gotta sit the arrogance down and know, like, hey, everybody needs some help. You know what I'm saying? Because you know everybody need help. It ain't bad. It ain't no pride thing, and it ain't no knock on you as a man because you asked for help. Like shit, you splitting 5 people up, and you had motherfucking 3 fights back to back to back. Well, 4 fights because AJ fight. You had motherfucking Frank Martin, then you had Earl Spence, then you got AJ, then you got Charlo. Like, that's not enough time to get everybody the type of commitment and the type of full training that you need. Like, that means you half-assing it and just hoping that motherfuckers can do residual training and thinking that their muscle memories can take over. But when you preparing for big fights like this, especially like a Terrence Bud Crawford, he needed to be locked in the whole time. Like he didn't need to be going to Las Vegas watching fights. Like he needed to be right there, buckled down, like eat, sleep, shit. Terrence Crawford, like he at Vegas, he doing all these other things. You didn't see Bud at the Vegas at the fights. I'm pretty sure Bud wanted to watch the fights, but Bud and them buckled down. Bomac talking about they was gone for 3 months away from their families, and they didn't leave. What they did, they buckled down, they stayed there and did what they had to do. And see, that's what's the problem. Like early in them, they've had so much success. Like sometimes when you have all that success, salute to my co-host right there. Well, I'm his co-host as well, but salute to my G, full counter.
What up? What up? What's going on?
What's up, homie?
Shit. God damn, man. You got to figure it out, man. I mean, EJ, he got a lot of soul searching to do, and he don't have a long time to do it. If he gonna get into this, if he gonna come back and be a great champion, he gonna have to dig deep. You're gonna have to do a lot of soul searching because this wasn't no ordinary beating he took, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Now go ahead.
Yeah, it's not an ordinary beating, man. I mean, he's gonna have to get a lot of shit together, you know, from the psychological to just, you know, regular mechanics, you know, because he didn't look like himself out there, bro. And I know if you weight drain, it's going to take away from what you can do in the fight, you know. But I'm mad with Derrick James and the whole situation. What the fuck they've been doing for a year or so and change? They should have been preparing. And see, I think that
after the Ugas fight, he said we got to get back in the gym. I thought,
yes, exactly, bro. That's what pisses everybody off. You doing acupuncture, you got flexibility coaches, and you got all this other shit going on, but yet you get to the fight and you look like trash, bro. It's like, huh?
I said hot trash, bro.
Yeah, and it just kind of pisses you off. It's like, bro, what the hell? And we done made all these videos looking at the film study, telling you not to lunge, telling you got to, you know what I'm saying, you know, you got to faint, you know what I'm saying, you can't be predictable, all this shit, and it's like they go in there and do everything we said not to do.
Exactly.
Kind of like your fucking parents. You know, don't touch that stove, that motherfucker hot. And you go right in there and you put your hand right there on the damn stove. Didn't I tell you the motherfucker was hot? You went in there and put your hand right there on that hot ass stove and you got your ass burned. And EJ got his ass burned, him and Derrick James.
And see, I think it comes from the arrogance, bro. Like EJ my dog. Like nobody better than my eye, but you know, from coming off these layoffs, beating people, not taking tune-ups and all that shit. And you know, Derrick James, he got the coach of the year. So you know, he feeling himself. He done got Ryan Garcia in there now, you know, but you spread yourself thin. Like it's only 24 hours in the day.
Yeah.
And it ain't but like 12 to 18 hours you can work. So you got 3 guys in there working, you splitting time between each guy because they say you have each of them coming at different times. So what you fight, you got these guys in 2-hour brackets and they got fights coming up where you need to be focusing more on which fighter and see if you was focused on each fighter, you'd have seen what holes was developing. You'd have seen that maybe my guy's off a little bit. Maybe this weight cut is off a little bit. Like, hell. Maybe, shit, to be honest with you, shit, maybe Earl could have missed the weight and still got up in there. Expensive paper, salute, my guy, salute. But, you know, like, hell, instead of taking that type of ass whooping, I would just miss the weight. You feel what I'm saying? If I knew it was that bad. You feel what I'm saying? But EJ, a constant professional, he promised us, but that right there was what he promised. Well, he said a one-sided ass whooping, but that shit was on the other side. Like, I never expected that. Now, if he would have lost a close fight, I wouldn't have said that. I'd have been like, yes, the better guy won and everything. But this man was getting hit with hot shit. Like, every time he got hit, it was like that shit was affecting him too much. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on? And it's like from the first bell. Like, when he first came out there, people talking about, oh, he won the first round, but he was tentative in the first round because he got hit. Then he started punching with 2 hands, like putting the other hand up like the shield, the other punch from coming back. And Earl, we've seen him make adjustments. He's not no young fighter. He know he could have rolled to Crawford left to neutralize that straight right that he was getting hit with. but he wasn't rolling to Crawford's left or nothing. He just kept sitting there and putting his head on a platter to get smacked. And Crawford was accurate. He was popping his ass. Karate Body, you say 154 will benefit Crawford as well? I don't think so, because we remember when Crawford came up from 140. When he first got the welterweight at 140, he wasn't a true welterweight, and everybody told him, and you see he didn't have the power and stuff. He was able to get people out, but it took him 12 rounds to get a one-legged Benavidez out of there. You know what I'm saying? And he had to swarm Jeff Horn. But see, it takes an adjustment period when you move to a different weight class. That's why they got different weight classes. And 7 pounds is a big deal. Like, you know, it's going to affect Crawford's speed. It's going to salute to my guy, Expensive Paper, with that big 20. He always dropping love on the show. Expensive Paper, salute, homie. Matter of fact, I got to do this for my guy, Expensive Paper, anyway. I got to make him a damn. He always come through. I got to make him a damn what you call moderator. You feel me, Pool?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree with Big Mike, Real Talk TV, man. He said Derek James need to give.
Hey, Pool, I got you as a managing moderator as well. So you know you're able to you able to damn. It's you, Shawa, Auntie Black Cherry, and now I'm about to put Expensive Paper as a managing moderator. Those people that can snatch people rich if they act crazy and shit, but we shouldn't have nobody acting crazy. But yeah, like 154, Crawford's gonna be a lot slower at 154. He's gonna be carrying around extra weight, so he's gonna be slower. And then you know that weight right there is gonna be sitting on his body. You feel what I'm saying? And then you know Earl, he'll be using more of his speed. Chitlin distributor, salute, brother, salute. But what I'm saying is, you see how Crawford, he wasn't knocking everybody out at 135. He wasn't knocking everybody out at 140. But he got to his ideal weight, which was 147, the weight that was perfect for his body. See, Earl moving up to 154 is like Crawford at 140. When he get to 160, that'll be Crawford at 147. But see, Earl hasn't moved up a weight class yet. He's 12 years into the damn division. Like him and Devin both was fighting in the wrong divisions. Like Devin can't go back to 135 because his ass will get kaloobaloo, in the words of Pool Counter. Like it's weight classes for a reason. You see awesome Chad Dawson when he came down to fight Andre Ward. You see, motherfuckers be weight trained. When Roy Jones came and fought Tarver the first time, he cut all that damn weight. It's weight classes for a reason. And when you used to have a certain amount of weight, then cut down, your body can't handle that. That's why when a person's coming up, he's a lot good than a person going down. Copper Aborigine, salute. Shane Fraser, salute. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, so I agree with Big Mike, Real Talk TV. You know, he said Derek needs to give EJ his undivided attention. His success with Arrow is the reason other fighters wanted to train there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Derek James, you know, he either need to get help, you know what I'm saying, over there so he can spread his philosophy and teaching in the gym, you know what I'm saying, or he just need to, like Big Mike say, you know what I'm saying, make sure that Eric is getting what he needs out of him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't have none of his skills, bro, up in that ring. Now, how much of it is the weight drain or how much of it is just Crawford was just great that night? We don't know. But we'll find out in this second fight. In this rematch, I think we'll see, you know what I'm saying, EJ having more, you know, of a chance, you know what I'm saying, to win. Now, you know, Crawford is going to display those same skills, but you're going to see a more invigorated Errol Spence Jr. in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's not fucked up for being able to make that weight. You know what I'm saying? Once you're done with a weight class, that shit shows, bro. And it's almost like you're a different fighter. You're not the same fighter. You know what I'm saying? If you can't fight at that weight no more. And EJ, he's been done with that weight for a while. But we've seen him overcome, you know what I'm saying, the obstacles from being in a car crash with Danny Garcia, from whipping Uber's ass. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, it's like at a certain point in time, you know what I'm saying, you can't fight at that weight and be effective, you know what I'm saying, for that long, turning 33, and just getting older and older and shit, you know, or and having to move at that way to chase somebody down like Terrence Crawford, you know what I'm saying, or somebody, you know what I'm saying, who's going to make you physically exert yourself the way Terrence Crawford has, and absorbing that kind of power and punch resistance, because EJ got busted up in just the first and second round, bro. The power.
Did you see the videos when that man hit early, that blood flew out his mouth? Like when they showed when they were showing the shots, like in the previews of like the thing, and they were showing the shots with EJ taking to the head, and like when he turned and his jaws open, I said, bro, ain't no damn way he knocking EJ out like that. Salute Shawar Allah. Salute Princess. Hey, it's an open pedal. If y'all want to get up here with me and Pool to cook with us, come on.
So, you know, the kind of power that Crawford displayed, you know, saying it's just kind of like, you know, you can't believe it, bro. You know what I'm saying? The power, he was killing them with that jab, and the power that was on the jab was just ridiculous, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you never seen Crawford jab nobody like that. You know, so you never see no kind of power like that. Now, I don't know if EJ just punch resistant was gone, like in Kell Brook case, he got hit with a little easy shot and he was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? He just couldn't take it because, you know, he hadn't made that weight in so long. But that's why EJ should have made sure that he dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's before he came up into this fight, because once the fight is done, nobody want to hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? People want to see a great performance. And to me, like we always been saying, you know, EJ is kind of like, you know, arrogant, bro, thinking that he could come into a fight like this competitive without a tune-up. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a great experience for EJ, you know what I'm saying, to come back to reality. No, bro, you're not Superman. No, you're human, bro. You're human in your going towards your mid-30s. And you know, because of everything you've been through, you should have gave yourself every chance and every opportunity to come in there sharp. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand what happened. Why they felt like they were so why was they so arrogant to think that Crawford wasn't going to be prepared? I just don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? And I blame Derek and Ethan for that.
Oakland LD, Fight Ready TV, salute Kings. But you know, Crawford been preparing this fight since that meeting. Since they came to that meeting when him and Earl first met up, when he said, "You too small, that you too light the ass." Notice Crawford felt Earl's arm, and you know he checked him out. He was sizing Earl up, and Earl didn't even notice it. Crawford took into the dimensions, and he seen what needed to happen, and he was like, "Okay, I know what I need to do now." So for the last 5 years, Crawford been building himself for the Earl Spence fight. And, you know, he's been down fighting people that Earl fought, you know, to try to pick up some of the stuff that Earl picked up. And, you know, he's been getting his body ready. He's been building his body this whole time. Hold on. People's Choice, salute. But he been building himself for this fight right here while Earl been sitting around relaxing. Shawar talking too cool.
What's going on, chat? Yeah, man. So you're right. You know what I'm saying? He prepared better. And I'm just surprised by that, because they should have known that this man is like the ultimate competitor, right? This is his biggest fight. They all should have known that. And even EJ was saying that in the build-up, that this fight was his best dance partner. What you knowing all that, my brother? I don't know what's all that background though.
Oh, I think that's
with him knowing that this is his biggest fight, why wouldn't you not prepare for that, bro, in a better way? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just kind of let down by that. You know, Crawford did what he's supposed to do, went out there and he performed, he knows his body, and he had all the coaches that he needed to cover all the little areas that, you know, possibly one coach can't see, another coach can see. Okay, you need to tighten up on your defense, your hands out of position. We need you lower. We don't need you up. You know what I'm saying? So we thought Derek was this mastermind. You know what I'm saying? Going into the fight, we thought he was this mastermind, that he would cover all these points that we was looking at. If you go back and look at our videos, and we said that, you know, Errol can't lunge. That's simple. We don't need to be boxing experts to know that you can't lunge on Bud Crawford, right? You got to move your feet. I heard Derek James tell him, you got to move out the way. You got to move your feet. And Errol Spence Jr. couldn't do it, whether because he said he was tired after the first round. Was it because his energy was low? Was this is where the weight drain theory comes into play. You know what I'm saying? Because the man, we never seen EJ tired in a fight. You know what I'm saying? Now you can't deny that. Is that taken away from Crawford? No. If the man said he was tired after one round, what does that tell you about EJ? Have we ever seen that before? You
The
know what I'm
only
saying?
time
Where
I
this
seen
man
him tired
tired.
was the Danny Garcia fight when he took his foot off the gas in like the 10th round. He was tired then.
For a person who throws 80 or 90 or 100 punches around, come on, bro. He didn't even get to that. He didn't even get to it. He didn't even get to 25 punches before, this man was exhausted. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't feeling it. He didn't have the access to that kind of energy and stamina, which is part of which is part of what makes him great. His durability. You know what I'm saying? His ability to take a punch because he got hit. Now they're saying Danny Garcia can't hit. Now they're saying everything this man has done, was to protect him from Crawford, which is bullshit. Which is bullshit. That's a bunch of bullshit. It's just the man, can't fight at 147 anymore. You know what I'm saying? He caught him at the end, and he put on a spectacular performance, but it was all strategic. You know what I'm saying? It was, in my opinion, it was all strategic, and EJ fell for the
year. Think that's what the
Mhm.
extra year was for.
Yeah, exactly. What we sitting on the outside wondering why the fight is not made yet. They dragging it out. You know what I'm saying? Because this man is done with 154. EJ run his mouth too much. You know what I'm saying? Talking about it's hard for him to make 147. He just gave them a game plan. He just gave them a strategic edge when he told them it was hard for him to make 147, which they probably already knew from the other fights.
Hey,
But
Jace,
as you
hold on, Bull. Hey, Jace, we not questioning his power, but he has some different type of power this time. Earl had 11 straight stoppages. Earl stopped 11 people and was breaking people. We see Earl get hit with everything but a kitchen sink. We not questioning his power. We just saying that he ain't beat nobody up the way he beat up Earl. That's what we said.
they know
That's
what the
what we
hell we're
just said.
saying. They know what we're saying because you can see all the proper fights. You're just going to accept the fact that as you get older, 35 and shit, you done got stronger, you done got bigger. You know what I'm saying? At the age of 35, bro, going up to 36, you done got stronger than when you was 20 something, when you were 25, 26, 27, 28. Your power then got better. Your speed then got better. I don't know about the speed, but the speed seemed like it was
He
above
was he
average.
was he was, he was a little quicker that night. He was quick.
Right. But I'm just saying, use your common sense. You thinking about superhero shit. When you 35, bro, you're not going to get that much more powerful than when you was at 30 or when you was at
Like
31.
Floyd was losing power. Like shit. You usually on a down slope when you hit around 35.
Where your power stays the same, it's the last to go, right?
It's
That's
the
the
last
last
to
thing to
go.
go. But if your power, you never had displayed power like that before, how you going to get better as you go 35, 36, 37, 38? You're going to increase your power by that much? You know what I'm saying? It's like your jab busting up people from in 2 rounds, right? You know what I'm saying? So and
We
we know,
didn't say Juice, Jace. We didn't say nothing about Juice. We just said that he had remarkable power this time. He was busting up Earl, and that's something that we said we've never seen him do. Bust up somebody in the first 3 rounds like that, especially a fighter that's used to taking shots like that. This man sat there and busted that man up like motherfucking grapefruit real fast, dog.
well, I mean, if
And
you can't watch
you
the
seen
fight,
that. Go
if
ahead.
you can't watch the fight and see that, I mean, come on, you can't admit that. You know what I'm saying? We know EJ, you know what I'm saying, fights better than that. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna say, okay, Crawford came in there with extra power, extra skills set, perfect timing. You know what I'm saying? And he just totally dominated EJ, who's a C-class fighter. That's what we're gonna believe. Right? That's what we're gonna believe, right? No, it's something else going on here. You know what I'm saying? Because my man, he was lethargic. You know what I'm saying? The man ain't had, even when he did go inside, he couldn't hurt Bud. He couldn't hurt him. You know what I'm saying? Now we saw Gamboa, you know what I'm saying? We saw Green Machine. You mean tell me EJ ain't better than Green Machine or Gamboa? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I mean, come on now. I mean, they know what we saying. They just trying to act like, saying they don't want to examine the other side.
Hey, Copper, I know
You know what I'm
George
saying?
was busting up people at over 40, but George Foreman, that man was hit like a mule from day one. And like we
But
said, power is
heavyweights
the
are
last
different
thing to
anyway.
go.
Heavyweights are
George
different
Foreman
anyway.
always been a big puncher. Foreman always been a big hitter.
Heavyweight's a little bit different, So you talk
One
about
punch
big
can change
guys
that
with
shit
one
too.
punch. Yeah, one punch could change the whole entire fight. But this guy coming in there like he is a damn heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Like he been punching like that the entire time. He had well, what it was, he felt that EJ wasn't himself, and he didn't have any power. Because when EJ hit him with an overhand left, he ate that shit like it wasn't nothing. Like, come on, bro. We've seen Green Machine. We've seen all kind of people. Rock. Even Jose Benavidez rock Crawford.
Yeah, bro. He just ate
To
that shit
the
like it was
body. Now
nothing.
you can tell me EJ hit you to the body and you eat that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't shit, and you punish him. So it was something different about EJ in this
It was
fight.
like the roles was reversed. It was the roles was
Mhm.
reversed.
So I'm just looking at
Hey,
how
y'all can hop up here, karate body. People's choice. What's up, man?
Man, I'm just listening right now, man. Hey, I agree on what you said, man. He really was he was sizing up EJ for a long time. He even at that face off when they met in that hallway, he even nudged EJ, like he even pushed EJ a little bit to see like
How
to test
sturdy.
his sturdiness on his feet. Like he been sizing up EJ for a while.
Yeah, like me and Poole have endless amounts of film of us breaking it down. Like we've been breaking it down for years on Poole's channel, talking about this fight. Like we've been breaking this shit down like that. That's why I'm saying like they did everything that we said not to do, and it was everything we told them not to do. They did it. Like
right, right.
that's what makes you so mad about the shit. Like
Bro, I just watched the epilogue, man. I just watched the epilogue, man, and I'm talking about man, Spence hit that man with some shots like on the chin, like a few times, not just one time, a few times on the jaw, like close shots, like you know what I mean, like hooking shots, like, and it had no effect at all. Like, bro, I'm like, come on, man. I don't know, bro. I really can't. I don't know. I can't digest this one, man. That's just crazy, bro. Like, I
Well,
don't
the
know,
rematch is
man.
going to tell us a lot. People's choice. It's going to tell us a lot. And fighters, what I'm saying, where they do get old overnight, what I'm saying, and inactivity, I think, do play a lot of part, a big part in it. What I'm saying, especially when you're fighting on an elite level like this. We gave Crawford hell over that David Evanesian fight. What I'm saying, we gave him a lot of hell, but he was staying sharp, working on his shit, and EJ wasn't. He stayed still. That was his problem. So that was EJ problem for standing still, waiting on Crawford, not getting in, the work that he needs as an athlete. Saying this does not take anything away from Bud Crawford's performance because his defense was excellent. His he was just a superior fighter in this fight. But EJ wasn't the same though. He wasn't the same dude. I think people want to believe that Errol Spence Jr. was the same Errol Spence Jr. that fought Danny Garcia, that fought Ugas, in these fights. No, he didn't look nothing like himself. And I think people want to give Bud the credit for EJ looking the way he did. And I don't think it was, because if you look before the fight, the dude didn't look right. And he just didn't look like his head was in the game or something, or he wasn't focused, or he was dazed or delusion or something. The motherfucker seemed like he was just floating, like he was on something or something. I don't know. I ain't saying Bud Crawford camp had anything to do with that, but for some reason, EJ did not prepare himself well for this fight with Bud Crawford, and I'm trying to figure out why. Why is that?
salute Ramon and Emily Jones. Salute.
I mean, I know. Like I said, I know Derek James. I don't know him, but I know he's a great trainer, man. From everything that he's accomplished and all that, man. But when Earl had his media day, he was training Earl and Ryan. Like Ryan Garcia showed up for extra training. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like that's Earl's media day. All the attention, all the effort supposed to be focused on EJ. Like, why is other trainers coming up to get extra work too? You know what I mean? He really probably need to add an extra trainer, man. An extra, some kind of help. There's a lot of good guys out there that can work pass, man, for Derrick James, man. I know he got a specific way he do it, but for Earl to be the person that got him to where he's at, man, I believe a lot more game planning should have been done because it seemed like it was just it was like day and night. Like, you know what I mean? That's weird.
Yeah, he got one Guzman in there to help Charlo, but I don't know, man.
He got Guzman up in that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's
Guzman?
Charlo.
Oh my God.
Nah, Guzman.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Guzman was a good fighter. I seen a few of his fights. He was solid, man. But
man, get the fuck out of here, man. Guzman, bro.
Hey, I seen a few of his fights. I thought he was all right, man. Hey.
That's a good question, Shawa. She said, why was Bud never that brutal and punishing with anybody else, though? That's the question you should ask it. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. They don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't want to hear it. And see, EJ should have known that that's what was going to happen if he go out there and get washed, right? That, you know what I'm saying, that this is what's going to happen. Now, what happens if he goes up to 154 and he comes back and he destroys Crawford? You know what I'm saying? Now, even with that, right, people are going to say, well, what the hell happened, bro? You know you couldn't fight at 147. Why the hell would you fight at 147 if you know you couldn't operate at that weight anymore? You know what I'm saying? Why did you fight that man down there? You know what I'm saying? Fuck them belts. You know what I'm saying? If you can't... Mm-hmm.
Because he made a promise and he wanted the belts, really.
Yep.
And sometimes your arrogance can take hold. Like, he probably felt like, shit, I can still do this. Like, like we talked about, pull that arrogance sometimes. That whole camp was full of pride at one point. It's a championship atmosphere. Even AJ, he started to feel the funk over there, talking about, they all make you want to, power up over here and everything. So, they very competitive over there and everything. They got that championship swagger and shit. And he just probably felt like he was that damn good that he could do it. But like my people said, though, it seemed like it was a non-disclosure, and like Earl had some kind of weight clause or something, because they was wondering why Earl didn't blow up like he normally do. Like, he was smaller than Bud during the damn fight and everything. So people was like, damn, how the hell did Crawford come in bigger than Earl? And that was his biggest advantage, coming in the biggest.
And when he took off his shirt, you know what I'm saying, to get ready for the fight, and I seen how skinny it was, I'm like asking myself, what is going on here? You know what I'm saying? What is going on? Why is he still looking like he's at the weigh-in? Right. Why is he that small? I'm looking at it. I'm like, bro, when did you rehydrate? You look skinny as hell, bro. What's going on here? Why didn't you fill out? Asking these questions, you know what I'm saying? It's like we never seen EJ except for when he came in there in the fat camps with Mikey Garcia, when he came in the fat camps with what's his name, Sean Porter. Right?
He got up bigger than that, though.
Yeah, he looked smaller than that. Those times he looked smaller than that. So what was he doing? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what was the game plan, what was going on. The man seemed like he was just off. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go up to what does he usually blow up to? Like 160 or something like that? Yeah, about 160. He didn't do none of that, bro. So what was going on in that camp? Because none of it went the way we usually see EJ prepare for a fight. You know what I'm saying? He's doing all his acupuncture, flexibility coaches. We thinking he's leaving no rock unturned, right, to get ready for this fight. And he was everything but prepared for what Crawford brought to the table. And that's the interesting thing, you know what I'm saying? Are we just supposed to accept that EJ went in there and he just was no competition for Crawford? Is that what we're supposed to be looking at? That's what we're supposed to say? After all the fights we've seen this man unified 3 times, three tough champions, can we say that maybe going through the gauntlet diminished him in some kind of way? I don't know. I'm just looking for answers for this trashy ass performance, and we know this man is way better than that. Or is it what Sean Porter said? you could be better on Monday and you just off on Friday. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just looking for the answers, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know his fans want to believe that Crawford's just that goddamn good. Maybe he is. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But we got a second fight coming, and I don't know if EJ got enough time to show that he's better than what he showed in the first fight. And I'm just concerned. You know what I'm saying? I'm concerned for his health. I'm concerned for, you know what I'm saying, everything he got going on, everything he's built. Can Derek James get, look at the fight and make the adjustment in such a short period of time? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like done lost faith in him because it's a lot of things he missed in the first fight. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of things he didn't take out of Errol Spence Jr. Fighting style that didn't help him in that first fight, bro. He just lunging like a motherfucker. Somebody got some background. You know what I'm saying? Please mute yourself. You know what I'm saying? Mute yourself when we talking. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that ain't me. Oh, let me see. Let me make sure. Let me see. Is that me? No. Okay. So let me see. I don't even think I can mute myself. Let me see. Is that muted? Or is my internet? I don't know.
Can I chime in for a second?
Go
Yeah, I'm
ahead.
just trying to make sure it ain't me.
It ain't you, Pool. What's up, Karate Body?
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for having me on the show. Um, I understand the questioning of EJ, maybe not performing to the standard that we've seen him in other fights. But we also have to factor in that he was in there against a fleet-footed fighter. Before the fight, a lot being said about Bud not being able to move like he had. In the lighter divisions, he's older. We're going off his last performance with Avanesian, and now we saw in that fight he was fleet of foot. He was countering. I mean, I just think he was just a better man that night. I think that style is just all wrong for EJ. And I'm a big EJ supporter. I've won so much money on that man, but it's styles. And you know, this is what I do as a like what you can call a profession. I gamble. So I'm looking at I look, I'm a diehard Laker fan. But if I know it's a bad matchup for the Lakers, guess what? Guess where my money's going? It's going on the other team. My loyalty is to my pockets. I think this fight was just all wrong for him. I think the fight is going to be. I don't. I will say this. I think EJ might be better. If maybe because they can revise the contract possibly and change some language in there where they can get a fight in between. Give EJ a bounce back fight. You know what I'm saying? And then meet up a year later. Meet up a year from now, and run it back. And I think he could perform better, but the style is still there. The
As
glaring
hard as it
holes
was
in
to
his.
get this damn fight, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but
But
I
I
think
hate when people be like, styles make the fights, right?
it does.
If it's one style that's better than all, then every boxer have that style. But it's not styles make the fight. It's the boxer that makes the style. Like it's which boxer can oppose his will and his style on everybody else. Because I've seen sluggers beat boxers, and I've seen boxers beat sluggers. I've seen counterpunchers beat boxers, and I've seen boxers beat counterpunchers. It's not one style that's better. It's the style that you can oppose. It's the box. It's delivered on the boxer, like how well he can assert his dominance and do his style right there. So it's not those styles make fights. It's
I hear
just
you,
that
man.
Earl has different styles as well. Earl is
I
not just a kung fu fighter. You see, versus Danny Garcia and Mikey, he was on his toes. He was fleet footed. He was in and out. He was boxing. He was they was counterpunching. He wasn't coming forward like that against when he fought Phil LaGreco. He was countering and he was damn going to the body and he came forward against Jesus. He was motherfucking switching styles and like against Emmanuel Larte. Like Earl was boxing the hell out that man because Larte hit him with some shit. You know what I'm saying? So Earl has different styles. Like hell, he had to box Floyd Mayweather. He boxed up Floyd Mayweather, busted his eye, and
Yeah,
almost
but
ruined
we
him.
don't have footage of that sparring, man. We don't know how that sparring really went. Yeah, we did see the mark on Floyd's eye, but we really don't know only
We
by
got
people's
everybody's
accounts.
eyewitness account saying that
Yeah,
they had
but
to kick him out the gym.
people can say
Floyd even
anything.
said that
I
Floyd
believe it. I believe
Floyd
it.
said the man gave him good work.
I
Floyd ain't
know,
gonna
but
lie
we don't
about
know
that.
how.
He said that man got me in the best shape possible. He
I
gave me
know that.
great work. Floyd ain't
I
gonna
get
brag
it.
on the next man.
That was before the accident. That's what I'm saying. Like all of this factored in. This is where it's come to. EJ is just an older 33-year-old than Bud is a 35-year-old. He's
No,
damaged. Yes, he
no,
is, bro.
no.
The glaring holes he's had in his game. When has he what has he done to fix them?
Earl has Earl has had years of he had months and months of inactivity. That right there saves
Exactly
you wear
that
and tear.
factored in.
But
That
that right
factored
there
into an
saves you wear and
accident,
tear.
man. An accident don't
That
make you
don't put
better,
miles
man.
on your body though.
Accident don't make you better, man. I don't care what you're trying
Everybody
to say.
keeps saying the accident though, bro. The accident was 3 fights ago. 2 fights
And
he looked great
activity,
against
like I said,
Garcia.
and drinking. You're not factoring all
How do
that
we
in.
how do we know he still
Well,
drink though? How do
people
we know
It
he
choice,
don't
drink?
matter,
people
man.
choice, people
If
choice.
you
Let him
drink,
cook, man. You know, everybody got to let the
if you
man speak
drink,
his piece.
no, I appreciate I appreciate the comeback because I'm just trying to educate you. Alcohol, if you drink alcohol, your body's not gonna recoup like that when as you get older. I'm not saying EJ is drinking, but maybe he
But
did enough
we
damage.
don't know now how much, you know, saying how much this was put out there. We don't know if that man was drinking like that.
The
You
man
know what I'm
said
saying?
he
We
was
know,
drinking after the accident, is what I'm trying to tell you.
but
So
what
we
I'm
don't know
saying
what
is,
lasting
but what
effects it has
what
had
I'm saying
before.
is, everybody's acting like this man drunk like a whole fifth in 20 minutes or something.
I'm
You
not
see what I'm
acting like
saying?
anything like that. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no. I'm
he
just
drank.
saying when people say he was drinking, they act like he drank to the point where he got corrosive liver. You know what I'm saying? So
Huh? Okay.
we don't know how much he was drinking at that time. We just know he might have did drink, but we don't know if it was just 1 or 2 times. Was it social or was it
We're going
just
off of
him hanging out with friends? We
verbal
don't know.
accounts of the situations. We got to also factor in people who have said EJ's a drunk. Look, I'm a 43-year-old man. I know drinking for me, I'm not gonna bounce back like that because I'm 43 years old. Yeah, sure, I'm not in the shape that EJ was, but alcohol has the same effect on everybody, no matter what. As you get older, you don't have that snapback like you used to. I'm just saying that, yeah, I feel like if EJ hadn't had 15 months off, he would have done better. But I still think I know you talking about style. The man make the fighter makes the style. Okay, I get it. But at the top tier, if you have a C level pressure fighter and a level counter puncher or boxer, sure that A level is probably going to do better if they're both on at the top of their game. The A level fighter is going to do better than that C fighter. And vice versa with the styles and the grades on the fighters. I'm just saying both these guys are at the top of their game. EJ coming off a 15-month layoff, along with everything else, like he doesn't live a fighter's lifestyle. That comes into play at some point in your life. Later in his years, as far as fighting, it's gonna take a toll. He should have came in this fight better prepared. I agree with whoever that was saying that, the arrogance and everything. Like we gotta factor all of that in.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you guys on the panel were saying it because you weren't saying it, but the people in the
Now I
comments
said
that were
he
saying
had the arrogance. I said they got to the arrogance where they felt like they could just do a minimum to get by, and they can't
yeah,
do that. Like thinking that 50% of like Earl does mention it. Earl done mentioned it plenty of times that 50% of him is better than 100% of these other welterweights. Like when you walk around with that type of attitude right there, that means you minimalizing your competition. You don't think that they're up to your level, and when you
exactly.
do shit like that, that's how that's how you get a sleeper. That's how Michigan lost to them Appalachian State because Appalachian State was a D2 team, and they beat a D1 team like Michigan because Michigan overlooked them.
Yeah, it
Sometimes
happens all the time.
you got to take everybody seriously. Realize that this is not a sport that you play. Everybody's coming out here. Evan Holyfield, he was a minus 10,000. He got knocked out by a fucking truck driver
Yeah,
last year. Like Anything can happen. One shot can change the fight. And Earl, like I said, Earl and Derrick James, they trade like they normally trade, but they didn't trade for Bud Crawford. Bud
Exactly.
Crawford traded for Earl. You feel what I'm saying? See, some traders they trade to fix the holes in their boxer's game, but they don't pay attention to the opponent. Because Bozy Ennis say he do that, but they said they make adjustments when they get to the ring. But sometimes when you go against a top level fighter, you need to at least see what the fuck he got and see what he does well and see what you can take away from him. Because if you don't, then you're bound to drown in that water. DMG salute, King. Ashante salute.
Yo, hey, I got
And
some.
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, just to count off what you said, Karate Boy. Hey, I do believe, I'm with you on that. I do believe that styles make fights. Even as an Earl Spence fan, I think that Bud's style, man, it's a bit tricky for Earl Spence's style, man. I'm gonna be honest. That's why he has so much trouble with it. Like that countering. Name a fighter that Earl Spence fought that could counter good as Crawford. And I'm not even a Crawford fan. I'm just calling
Eddie
him.
and Mikey. They're both
Huh?
great counter punchers. Mikey's
Not as quick for you, E.
And look,
Well,
look.
Ugas is a good counter puncher
No, no,
yeah,
too.
no, no.
Ugas.
You
Don't
know
get
what I'm
this.
saying? Ugas is a good. Go ahead.
No, my bad. Don't get it twisted. Look, I am a Earl Spence fan. I'm from Texas. I don't never sided with Bud. I'm just calling it like I see it, man. That guy, he was too fast for him. None of them guys. Look, Keith Thurman not as fast as him. Ooh, got
Timing
fast as
beats
Crawford.
speed all the time. Timing stops speed. Earl's timing
That's
was
what
off.
Bud had.
That's the main thing. His timing was off.
It was definitely off.
See,
It was
I,
off.
I agree. I agree with what y'all saying. He was too fast for EJ. His timing was off. All that 15 months off. What I'm saying is, why the fuck would Derrick James let him go into the fight? You know what I'm saying? Knowing this stuff. If we could see it, why Derrick James couldn't see it? I understand arrogance, but at the same time, you're a professional. You know what I'm saying? You're a professional trainer. If you see this man, you know what I'm saying, don't have the reaction time, and I know $30 million is $30 million, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you don't want this man going in there like that. You know what I'm saying? Being that far off. Because even Frank Martin was off on his shit. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't prepared, you know what I'm saying, for the fight that he fought. And I understand Bud Crawford's skill set. I mean, I've studied the man too. Why didn't Derrick James understand that this man was going to be fast, and if Errol Spence Jr. wasn't 100%, he was going to get his ass whipped? Anybody could have told you that. But we
Can I
thought
talk in real quick?
EJ,
Can I talk real quick?
we thought that EJ was working on his shit in the gym, you know what I'm saying, getting ready for these counters and combos that Bud was going to present. When you watch the film, you already understand what EJ has to overcome. Look like they went in that motherfucker they ain't watched nothing. They went in there like this was some opponent they never seen before. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
But look
That's
what
what
they're doing. Look what they're doing. Look what Heyman and his fighters they don't fight often. And then look what Charlo's about to do. He's about to do the same exact thing.
No, they do fight often, but man, you gotta take he fight two, three times a year. They was fighting often until Bud slowed up the schedule because they stopped the damn schedule for him. Like they try to get everybody in at least twice a year. But they started to make that money. So as they making money, because Al Heyman teaches them how to invest their money, then they know that they ain't gotta take all this damn dangerous stuff. Like they don't have to fight back to back like that because they're making money. Like each fighter don't want to keep fighting until they damn old. They want to get out early. And like Jamal Charlo, he's done made great investments, even though he's fucked up and might not box again. Like he's rich right now. Al Heyman got this man on his grind. But Earl, his inactivity, plus like I said, the 154 is where he should have been at. 147 was a tight stretch for him. And I been knew he should have moved up after he fought Danny Garcia. He shouldn't even have fought Ugas, really. Because if we look at the Ugas fight, it took Earl Earl took about 5-6 rounds before he started getting his timing. Like Earl's timing was off in that fight as well. But
That's
see,
what I'm
Bud
saying.
didn't let him get the 5 or 6 rounds to get his timing up. That's
Hey,
why he said I couldn't kick it up a notch.
hey,
That's
good
what I was.
question.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Quick
Go ahead,
question.
man.
Nah, anybody can answer this. What does Errol Spence have to do better this next fight? What's going to lead him to victory? I'm
Man,
just
Earl just got to do what Earl do, man. He got to he got to be himself. The Earl we seen all the way up to this fight is a good enough Earl to beat a lot of guys out there, man. EJ just got to be himself, man. Well, I mean, we all seen something was going on. That ain't no. We ain't never seen nobody. When have you ever seen a top elite fighter or even Earl, who's the top elite fighter, give a performance like that when you know he's being watched by millions of people around the world? Earl got
Well,
to
you
be
heard
the
what he
same
said,
Earl he's
bro.
always been, man. It just, man, just whatever happened in that lead up from the weigh in or whatever it was to the night of the fight. I mean, man, like, bro, why would he change the way he fight when that's got him to where he at?
You
Yeah,
heard what he said. He said, "I got an
he's too late in the
excuse."
game to
Hold on
change.
one second, bro.
Okay.
Earl said this out his own mouth. He said, "I got an excuse, but I'm just not gonna give it to y'all." So Earl know what the problem was. It's a reason behind it, but he's gonna keep it to himself as a man. But shit, I would like to know because here, as a fan, we all lost money. Like, nigga, what the fuck was up?
Well,
You know, but
if you fight one damn round and you tired, you telling your coach you tired after one round, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that out loud. When have we ever seen Errol Spence Jr. tired after one round, bro?
been tired. I'm sorry.
You say what now?
I said he ain't never been tired. That dude. Some people
Right,
ask, what the fuck is wrong with this
right.
dude?
man, excuse
So,
me, we're not making
so
excuses.
one thing.
Hold on one
Let me
second.
finish.
Hold on one second, Paul. We're not making excuses. We're making observations.
Oh yeah.
And us as boxing fans, we can observe what we see in the ring. It's not no excuses. We're observing and we're talking about what we see. Go ahead, Paul.
One thing Errol Spence Jr. can do is get his stamina right. You know what I'm saying? Get his stamina back. That's part of his superpower. His stamina, his durability. Yes, he's hittable, but what he's able to do is use his size, use his endurance, and using his work rate was taken away from him in this fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what he needs to get back. He needs to get back his stamina. He needs to get back active. You know what I'm saying? You need to get back into the fight world. You know what I'm saying? Once you've been out the ring for so long, 400, you've been out the ring for 400 and something days, bro. You got to get back into action. See, a problem with a lot of these fighters that today is that they're not fighting enough. Win or lose, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to look good. You're going to sharpen up and you're going to know where your deficiencies are when you fight. You can't get your timing back in the ring, bro, when you fight an elite fighter that's on your ass, right? When an elite fighter's on your ass, it's hard to make adjustment. Bud Crawford seen that EJ wasn't his same, and it was over for him because he's a veteran, because he's got a lot of experience. And once EJ hit him with that overhand right, and then he tried to push him, and he couldn't do shit with him, he knew that EJ wasn't himself. So he went in for the kill because he seen that the man didn't have the strength, he didn't have the stamina. The motherfucker was tired after the damn first round. So you mean tell me Bud didn't see that and read that and say, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? It's time to get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? I believe Bud carried him a few rounds. You know what I'm saying? I believe Bud carried him a few rounds because he knew what he had before him. And that's why he was talking shit to Jamel Charlo, because I believe that Bud had an extraordinary he was himself. You know what I'm saying? I think he had a great performance, but I don't think EJ was 100% himself. You know, for whatever reason, why he didn't prepare better for this fight, but he didn't have the energy in this motherfucker. He had no power. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't have it, bro. And Bud, you know, he took note of it and took it to him. You know, hopefully at 154, he ain't too banged up to really make a better showing or even win the fight. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully. You know, we don't know because now Bud got the psychological edge because he knocked him out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So now he can talk shit. He could talk shit in the lead up. Right. You know what I'm saying? He could talk shit. Oh man, I knocked you out in the ninth round. What the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But EJ opened himself up to this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand. He's got too much status. And you know, so he's supposed to have too much experience to fall for a trap like this. That's all I'm saying. That's got me perplexed.
I don't want to see EJ get further damage, man. His style, I don't know how it's gonna bode, for him at the 154 division. I know you don't have the 154 is not that deep. The 147 is really not that deep, to be honest with you. But I just don't want to see him. I just want to see how he's going to look the next fight. That's why I said they should take a fight in between because I would like to see how he looks. If that was an off night or there's something really going on, because all the allegations everybody's throwing
Right.
around.
That's what
I
I'm
want to
talking
see what.
about, bro. That's
So
I think he
let's
need to stay active. Hmm.
yeah, he has to stay active. But let's see him take a fight in between with somebody that gives him some pushback. You know what I'm saying? Not somebody that's just coming to lay down. Somebody give him some pushback so you see how his reaction time. See if he can take the punches. Because if he can't, and then he gets in there, let's say he couldn't, and he didn't take that fight, and he gets in there with Bud again, and now we got a serious situation like a Mildred Taylor or one of these other guys have gotten fucked up behind a fight. I don't want to see the man like that. You know what I'm saying? Like these are both brothers, and I support both of them. But I
Hey,
don't.
y'all know something new? Y'all remember the Tower Inferno Fundora, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all remember he fought Erickson Lubin, right? And y'all remember how he busted up Erickson Lubin's face, right?
Right.
Then he fight Carlos Ocampo. He didn't do shit to Ocampo face. You see that shit? He was hitting Ocampo with everything, and
Everything. Mm-hmm.
so. But Lubin said it was something funny about them gloves as well. I'm just saying that's what Lubin said. But we seen him bust up Lubin, but he couldn't bust up Ocampo. That's what I felt because I felt Lubin a way better fighter than Ocampo. But Ocampo was giving that nigga everything he could handle. You know?
And then you watch your compo get knocked out in the first round with Tim Zoo with a telegraph overhand right. It's like what is going on in
Exactly.
boxing? What is going on in boxing? We know Ocampo
Exactly.
is
There's
better
a
than
lot of
that.
shit
What is
going on
going
that we
on,
don't
bro?
know about.
You know, I mean, come on now. He hit Ocampo with a telegraph overhand right. I'm like, bro, you gonna let him load up on you like that 2 times, 3 times with the same shot? Bro, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Are you cold or something? I mean, it's just when you watch this shit this closely, maybe we watching it too closely. I don't know.
I think
You know what I'm
that too.
saying?
I think that too, man. And I mean, I think we can go over a lot of fights and look at old fights and do the same thing. I just think the community has been tied to this fight emotionally, and I think that a lot of that is spilled over now. It's I just think it's spilled over, and I just think that I can agree. Errol maybe had an off night, but all these conspiracies about him taking a dive and Illuminati, I just can't believe that. Show me some evidence. Derek James touched Bud's glove, so if it's loaded gloves, I'm sure he wouldn't have. If he touched the glove, he's gonna back his fighter up. I just think that the style is bad for EJ. EJ coming off a 15-month layoff. He's been a drinker. He's been a drinker in the past. He's 33 years old. They weren't taking the fight that serious. All of that, together equaled up to what we saw that night. Now, if he gets another fight in between at 154, looks like the old EJ again. Looks a little bit more sharp. Looks okay. Now we get another. Now we get Bud back, and maybe we have a better fight. I just don't think he should go straight into a Bud fight, regardless of what the weight is going to do for him. You still have those glaring holes that you have to cover up. And let's say Bud, maybe like you were saying, Bud is going to be slower or whatever. He may not have as much strength. I'm not comparing Bud to Floyd. I'm not doing that. Floyd is my favorite fighter of all time. Him and Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. But still, if that style, if the counter punching is going to bother you, you may not have the knockout power, but you have enough respectable power to make you shell up. That's why Floyd was so good, because it was the timing that he was able to hit the fighters with. And although it wasn't knockout power, it was like, oh shit, if I get hit with this enough time, I might get knocked out. You know what I'm
But
saying?
what,
So
bro? You say glaring holes. What glaring holes did you see? And that you can you
okay,
call
so
those same? You say
I'm
glaring holes? Can you call out those same holes in EJ's game in any other fight but this fight?
yeah, I'm that's what I'm saying. If I'm saying glaring holes, it's been getting holes has been there.
In what fight?
The Danny Garcia fight, the Ugas fight.
Danny Garcia hit him with a flush uppercut when he was coming at him in the corner to the
I'm not
chin,
talking about
and it
reaction
didn't
to
do
punches.
nothing.
You're changing up the argument now. I'm not talking about him responding to punches. I'm talking about how he loads up on that left hand. That for a counter puncher, that is like lunch.
Or it's a Hail Mary punch. It whatever was going on with EJ, he knew he had to go for the gusto, man. Like,
But
I mean,
regardless of what you're saying, man, it's still not a good thing to be loading up on your punch like that. It's telegraphed. A counterpuncher is going to eat that.
bro, that's
He's
the
gonna.
only fight he did that in. I ain't
That's
trying to
not the
cut you
only
off. That's the
fight,
only fight he
man.
did that in.
Listen, I've been watching EJ since the what was that? The Khan and Alexander fight. I've been a fan of EJ for a very long time.
I
That's going
can't.
back to like
It don't sound
2016,
right.
2015. Why? Because I Styles make fights, man. Look, I'm a pro gambler, bro. I'm gonna go with whatever's gonna make me money. I don't care. I don't know none of these fighters. I don't know none of these teams. So my allegiance is to my pocketbook over anything. Just because I'm calling out what he does that's wrong that a counterpuncher can capitalize on, don't make me not an EJ fan.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you
That's just
think
like
this was the
that's just
EJ?
like people saying
You said
that's
you've
like
been
people saying
watching.
EJ. That's like people saying Bud should go up to 168 and fight Canelo. He will get fucked up. That
Hey,
would be
off
stupid.
off that performance he just did, hey,
Yes,
I give him
yes.
a
At
chance.
168, nah,
I give
man.
him a chance if he can take
Nah,
whatever he took
man.
with him to
So
168. He got a
hold
chance.
on, people's
If he can
choice.
take it
Hold
to
on,
168, but what's the
hold
chances
on,
he
people's
gonna do
choice. So
something?
you saying what's his guy name? What's his guy name? So you saying you've been watching EJ since
That's karate body,
2015, right?
fool.
Right.
Karate body,
Oh,
fool.
karate. Oh, karate body. So
Okay.
you say you've been seeing him since 2015. Did that look like
Right.
the EJ? You know what I'm saying? Of any fight that you ever seen? You know what I'm saying? Did he look like the EJ that Even let's say Crawford had a superior style, right? Let's say his
Uh-huh.
style was all wrong for EJ. Did that look like EJ like from round one to round two to round three? Did that look like EJ to you? That you seen
That's what
from
I'm agreeing with you guys
2015?
on. In the locker room, he did look a little off, but I'm just saying the style still isn't good. No matter what, like when I called in the UE's chat, when I called in that night before the morning of the fight, UE, that's what I was just trying to explain. Like those holes Bud is gonna be able to capitalize off of, and that's all I was explaining. You know, did I think it was gonna be a one-sided shellacking like that? No, but I thought Bud was gonna win a wide decision. I thought that it would be a little chippy in the first few rounds or whatever, maybe the first 4 rounds, and maybe the EJ's up 3-1, 2-2 because I broke this down to somebody, and then Bud was gonna in the middle. It was gonna get a little, Bud was gonna start pulling away, and Spence was gonna, possibly try to come back and start throwing some punches, and he was gonna get caught and put down. But I didn't think I never said Bud was gonna knock him out. I thought it was a chance, but I thought that he could win a wide decision.
Still
But
got places in there.
this is the
Um,
regular Earl.
Where you can roll up.
He
yeah,
would
I,
have
I I
ground
get it.
Bud, bro. Like
I get it. But look,
Bud would have never won a decision over Earl. Earl gets stronger as the fight goes, and Bud
we
he
we
putting out
can't
that
say
type
that
of
though, man. Because
output.
look,
Bro, I
look
don't
at
know.
how
Let
look
me
at how
finish, bro. I've been letting you cook this whole time, not interrupting you, bro. Let me
okay.
finish. Earl, he comes with that body work. He got that body work, and Bud is not used to putting out but like 30 to 40 punches around. He's very economic. Earl throws close to 100 punches in the damn round. If this is the Earl we used to him coming in, battering, brutalizing, and working that body. And if you had EJ 3-1 or 2-2, that means the juggernaut that got rolling and the ambulance is starting to come down the hill. In the second half of the fight, that's when EJ does his best work. That's when he's loose now. He got the sweat. Because it takes Earl about 5-6 rounds to get a good sweat going so he can start letting loose. So if that was the case, hell, Earl would have down. If Earl could have got to that round right there and he was his usual self, we would have seen the shellacking going forward. Honestly,
But that's your assumption. I mean, look at how well what's his name did against Sugar Ray Leonard.
Hey up! I gotta get up out of here, man. I hit you up.
all right,
Sorry,
fool.
y'all. Sorry about that karate, man.
Oh, you good,
All
man?
right,
You good?
all right, bro.
All
All
right.
right, fool. Hit me up, bro.
Look at how good what's his name did against Sugar Ray Leonard, and then look what Tommy Hearns did to him.
Talk about the red.
Yeah. It's just styles, man. That's all I'm saying. Is like this guy implements his style, he pushes his style, it matches up against his. We're talking about. I'm talking about everybody being on the same playing field. Everybody's at the top of their game. A not a counter puncher, a boxer puncher. It is can beat it if you look at throughout history. A boxer puncher beats a pressure fighter more often than not if they're both at the same level. Just like a pressure fighter will beat a pure boxer more often if they're at the top of their game. It's just all about styles. Like what style can a guy implement with what style he has, and everybody being at the top of their game, and who can implement their style. Sure, it it's interchangeable sometimes, but I don't know. I just felt like Bud was gonna win regardless. I mean, we won't know because there's a speculation of EJ not looking right and somebody slipped him a roofie and all this other stuff. So we'll have to wait till we get to
Watch
154
out.
and hopefully, there's no discrepancies or anything that comes into play that we'll have these kind of discussions because what we all were hoping, and I think I can speak for everybody, was just to be a clear and concise win with no nothing. But now we have this dark cloud hanging over, and it's still
But
dividing the boxing community.
let me ask you a question,
So,
Karate Body. And you seem like you know a little something. Let me ask you a question, right? What's the key component to building a good sequel?
yeah, drama.
Controversy.
Yeah,
We got controversy, we have drama. This is the recipe for a good sequel. And if Earl can do the impossible, they say, then we got a trilogy. And that means they all get a bag. See, that's why I think Earl's gonna win this next fight because they gonna get a trilogy out of this. This is gonna be a three fight extravaganza right here. And they all making money, generational wealth. Key Alexander, salute, Princess. I'm about to drop the link for you so you can hop up here and get your great boxing knowledge up here. But like I said, like it's gonna be a trilogy. I'm thinking it's gonna be a trilogy. I'm thinking that you know Earl lose the first one, then Earl win the second one, then they fight the third one out. You feel me? Like they each get one apiece, and then the third one. But what if I'm wrong? Then I'm wrong, Cool J. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't. That's the only thing I can think of to explain what happened to damn Earl. Like I just don't understand.
But
Like
if we say okay, we get to fight either in December or maybe February or March or next year, whatever the timeline they frame the next fight to come out. If
salute, Justin.
if Crawford can do the same thing, which is be victorious at 154. I mean, yeah, we got to start talking about the dude as one of the as really as one of the top greats. But I mean, that's
I
we
mean,
got.
I've already put Crawford as an all-time great just because the performance that he had. I don't take nothing away from Bud. I tell people that. Right now, he's one of the all-time greats right now because don't nobody else has nobody like Earl on their resume. Floyd doesn't even have an Earl Spence on his resume. And I feel like if you haven't beat a slick black fighter
He ain't.
on your resume, then your resume is weak. Like, that's why Tank's my dog, but I need to see Tank against a slick black fighter. I don't care about how many Mexicans you beat, how many white people you beat, none of that shit right there. I want to see a slick black fighter on your resume. Because, like, people don't realize, but the Drunken Master was one of Floyd Mayweather's hardest fights, Corley.
You
yeah, man.
talking
He
You
about
marked
know what I'm saying?
Floyd
I
Chop,
up.
know
chop,
what you're talking
Corley.
about. Emmanuel Augustus or something like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, Emmanuel
yeah,
Augustus. He was one of Floyd's hardest things. He was a slick black fighter, and it's a style right there. That's why people don't like it, but I give Naoya Inoue all the credit because Inoue, billionaire boxer salute. I give Inoue credit because he beat Stephen Fulton, and he also beat Emmanuel Rodriguez. And people don't even know that who he is, but Emmanuel Rodriguez, that's the one that was beating Gary Antonio Russell, beating the shit out
yeah.
of him. And Inoue took that man out in a couple rounds, quick. And that's when I was like, damn. Plus, he stopped Nonito Donaire. You know what I'm saying? I know it was an older Donaire, but you know, the first Donaire fight pushed him to the limit and helped him evolve into a better fighter. But yeah, like when he beat Emmanuel Rodriguez, I found out how good he was because I seen Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Antonio Russell, Gary Russell's brother, and he was beating the shit out of Gary Russell until that headbutt. So I was like, well, damn, that dude is pretty damn good. And then you see him stop a great fighter like Stephen Fulton. That's when I'm like, well, damn, because you know Fulton was a great fighter. He was a pound for pound fighter.
Yeah, but why Fulton didn't bring him to Philly though, man? Fulton should have brought him out of Tokyo. Fulton should have brought him out here, man. I think
I
it would
mean,
have
he
been a
got
lot
more
different
money to
fight.
go to
It made more
Japan,
money.
though.
It made more sense for being in Japan because of the
It made
money.
more sense to Japan because Fulton really ain't got no big name. Like he
Right.
said at the end of the fight, he got more people saying his name now that he lost the fight than he had when he won the belts. Like he gets more publicity now that he's lost than when he won. Like his city is fucked up. He say shit. They don't even shout me out when I win this shit, but when I lose, everybody shout me out. Hey Key, you can hop up on the panel, Key. Salute Trojan Mike, Pete,
Man,
Trojan Pete, Pigeon Mike Tyson.
that's crazy how Bud was how after I don't know when that was in the fight, man, but the man was they say don't worry about the next fight until you finish this fight. The man looking out the ring telling Charlo he next. Like, how confident do you got to be to do that? What did he know that we didn't know, bro? Bro, that was early in the fight. Like, you understand what I'm saying? That was early in the fight, bro. You telling the man he next outside the ring early in the fight. Earl could have came back. You know what I mean? Like, something just wasn't right, man. Like, for real, all the way around, man.
Charlo ain't coming back to 154 after this. He wasn't gonna come back to
Charlo come
154.
back to like 160. I don't think he'll make back 154. You know,
He's older.
Charlo is 6 feet tall any damn way. So you
Right.
know,
Yeah. It don't make no sense for him to come back to 154.
salute
So.
the Key on the panel. Salute.
Nah, he ain't. What's dude named Tim Zoo? I mean, shit, Tim Zoo. I think he just called. He said he wanted. He said he wanted to deal with Crawford. I mean, but hey,
He was calling out Earl before that, but see, Tim
Yeah.
to come for a fight, he like a Montestenionis. Like Tim Zoo a hype train, man. He's just a hype train.
I don't
Nah,
know, man.
He's
nah.
definitely not. He's definitely not his pops.
Trojan Mike, Crawford don't beat either Charlo, bro. If Jamal Charlo was on his shit, Crawford can't fuck with that man. That man too big for Crawford.
Jamal's too big.
And he's too technically sound. And he got Jamal is the better Charlo, but Jamel got that dog in him, though. But Jamal,
I actually like Jamel at first when he was with Ronnie Shields, man. He fell in
but
love with
see,
his
Derrick
power.
James made him a better fight. Billionaire, what you think, homie? You gonna hop up here on the channel and talk to us? Key, how you doing tonight, princess?
Hey, you guys. Salute to the panel. I was really enjoying y'all cooking up here, saying some really good stuff. I'm still, just to back up a little bit, I'm still not sold on Inoue. I do have him on my pound for pound list, but he is low. I'm still not sold on him as of yet, but he's a great boxer. Let me turn down. I hope I'm not echoing. And then,
Hold on one
what do you
second.
think?
Salute the dub right side, respectfully. All right, go
I
ahead.
I came in late, so what do you think, Upper? You think Earl is gonna do better as he moves up in weight?
Yeah, I know he'll do better up there. Hey, Dub, the link out there for you too, bro. But yeah, I know Earl will do better because you know his muscles will have more energy. You feel what I'm saying? Plus, he won't be draining himself to damn near dying to get to the damn weight. You feel what I'm saying? Because like you seen his face. Like I said before, you know the brain is the last thing to dehydrate, and it's the last thing that rehydrates. And his face was still small. Like he looked like he was out of it. I don't know what the hell was going on in the fight. Like we may never know what was going on in the fight, but It'd be better at 154 because you remember when Bud came up to 147, he had a period of adjusting. Like he just wasn't ready for 147 at first. He had to fill out. But you know, Spence, he's a much bigger fighter, a bigger core. So, you know, that way to be much more. Like it'll slow Crawford down, but Earl will be a lot faster because he'll be able to use his muscles more. Like if he was using 50% of his muscles, now he can use like 75%. And now he'll be able to use Blu-ray. Because see, he wasn't really able to do strength and conditioning because you know it was a strict weight limit, and he was already teetering on the line because he's been at the weight class for over 13 years. Most fighters has done moved up 1 or 2 weight divisions by that time. Earl's been stuck in that division for over 13 years, and he started at 152. So that shit right there was grueling on his body. So the mere fact that he was disciplined enough to make 147 is a testament to that man's willpower. But he should have left 147 a couple years ago. But ain't no use of crying over spilled milk. You live, you learn. And like Earl said, he has an excuse he won't tell us. So that gives me hope for the next fight. Like it's something that maybe can be changed for the next fight. You know what I'm saying?
But how do you think that Earl will deal with the switching? So in that fight, we didn't see Crawford
Bud is not
switch.
going to switch. He's not going to switch.
You don't think so? Because I mean, he still can now.
Crawford, any fight that you seen Crawford switch in, he's getting destroyed in orthodox. Like, because that's his power hand at the back. And he's used to working with his power hand up forward. That gives him a better advantage. It lets him get the shots off faster. If he puts his power hand in the back, then he'd be basically ready to fight. You know, Kell Brook and them took advantage of Crawford when he was in orthodox. And Earl would definitely take advantage of him in an orthodox stance. And then that takes away his straight right. That straight right jab that he has is going to take that away from him because he has it in a different position. So he got to stay southpaw. That's his best bet.
I could see that. I guess I'm still just worried about. Firstly, I wish that it would be had next year, but I know within the contract it says in December. But if a rematch, which it's sounding like Earl is saying that he wants the rematch, or that's what it appears to be. So I just hope that maybe for the past several months it was mostly based on his weight and conditioning for his weight, and now moving forward it'll be based on his strength and really, you know what I'm saying, just the boxing skills, because now at least we know what Crawford can do and what he's bringing. Do I think that Crawford will make any type of tune-ups from now until December? Of course. But it's going to be up to Earl to pretty much handle that. So I'm just worried that it might be just a little too soon. I wish that he can get in a tune-up fight. And I stand by what I said to you a few days ago where I said I hope that he's sparring southpaws right now. I really do. That
Well,
can change and do all of that.
Well, you know something? They know something that we don't know. Because Earl, he seems confident about a rematch. He was saying that in the ring. And usually when a motherfucker take that type of whooping or beating, they not too quick to be sitting there saying that. But Derrick James was like, yeah, we're gonna get him back. And he like, for sure. Like, we about to do that. And like Earl say, I got an excuse, I'm just not gonna tell y'all. So he knows what's wrong. And like, if you watch the thing, at the end of the first round, Earl said, I'm tired. When have we seen Earl tired? And you know, fatigue makes cowards out of people. And in the first round, Earl came back and said he was tired. And you know, that's why I said he must have been drained, because we've never heard Earl talk about he's tired at the end of the round one.
He was drained. I mean, he was still running the week of the fight. You saw the pictures of him running. So yeah, I definitely think that's a factor.
Yeah, see, they don't realize like that ain't boosting your stamina; it's taking away from it.
Nah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like they said, Earl will be done training, but then he want to get some more and talk about, come on, let's do it for 25 more minutes or 15 more minutes, because he wanted to keep on to make sure he was sharp, but all he was doing was hurting himself instead of bettering himself.
Right.
It's a such thing as overtraining. It's
That
too much of a good thing can also happen, and that's what was happening.
But okay,
and yeah.
to play devil's advocate. Sorry, Upper, for cutting you out, but to play devil's advocate, Earl has been here 28 times. Bud has been here prior to them fighting, 39 times. Okay, so if you know this and this is what you do, then why go through this? And you've been calling for this fight for 5, 6 years. Like where was the proper training? I'm just playing devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying? To make it make sense. Like if you knew all of this, it should have been properly prepared
That's
on.
why we said
So
it's arrogance. It was arrogance in that camp right there. Derrick James got the coach of the year. Earl, he said he can come back and beat people off layoffs. He don't do tune-ups, and 50% of me is better than 100% of these other welterweights. And it was just arrogance. Derrick James don't need no help in the gym. He got 5 fighters trying to spread it out between 5 different fighters. Not even each fighter the proper time and shit. It's just a lot of arrogance. Like, they need to be humble a little bit. That's all, I think.
Up,
You can ask the
up,
rest of the panel. Ask
up.
Karate.
But when Floyd fought Diego Corrales, Floyd had like 21 or 23 fights. Corrales had like 31 or 32 fights. So the number of fights, I mean, I know we can look at that and say, one guy has less experience, another guy has more experience. I don't know if that's what he was going at with that, but
Then they was arrogant. Like, they didn't take it serious enough. Like, Derrick James got 5 other fighters and he ain't got no help in the gym. And Earl Spence talking about he don't do tune-ups, and 50% of him is better than 100% of these welterweights. This is words out of Earl Spence's mouth himself. Like, that means he wasn't taking people serious enough. Like, like, if you're not at 100%, why even fight that fight? But his body's been screaming at this weight, and he steady stayed at this weight. So he take.
no, it like you say, man. It got it. I mean, I'm pretty sure once some time passed, because it's still soon. It's like a week or 2 weeks, whatever it is, a week or so after the fight. Like, if a person don't rehydrate, like Ryan Garcia was not able to rehydrate, he accepted that. If EJ was not able to rehydrate, it's something he accepted. He said, "I agreed to the weight. Whatever he had to accept, he accepted." Crawford said in the ring, "If it wasn't for you, this fight wouldn't have happened." So I mean, if it is a rehydration, if it's something like that, because we never seen the man body not look full. We never seen a man body look like it looked at the weigh-in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so if it's something that he's saying, I got an excuse, but I ain't gonna make it. Like, some time passed. Who knows? He probably would come out and, hey, man, rehydration clause. I really couldn't, rehydrate to the right weight because, bro, like, he was still like he couldn't get off. Nothing was
He was
working.
like five. He was like 5 pounds away from his weigh-in weight. Like, Bud was a lot better. That
Bro, it
man,
was no,
he was
no,
pushing Earl around there.
no lateral movement. EJ normally, if EJ got buzzed by Ugas, he was moving. EJ fought Mikey, he was moving. EJ fought Sean Porter, they moving around the whole ring. Like, so I mean, his stamina is not a question. There's no question with his stamina, man. And if his lateral movement, he got lateral movement. It's just whatever it is that he's saying. If he's saying, I got an excuse, but I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna make it. I could make an excuse, but I ain't gonna make it. It's something there, man. Because I mean, we all gotta agree, man. Like that, Bud, he had a great fight, man. He won the fight. Like, what I mean, hey, you undisputed in 2 weight classes. Congratulations to him. But you didn't beat the best EJ, man. Like, that wasn't the best version of EJ. So I mean, come on now.
that's why I think that a rematch is warranted, to go off of people's choice. Like, at first I was like, nah, I don't want to, because I don't want to see my boy look like that again. Like that messed me up, because I've never seen him, even when he got hit by Ugas with that 2 punch. um, Earl smiled and just kept going. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was insane to me, like how he bounced back from that. And then to see from that to this, I was like, nah. But now I'm like, no, he does need to get his lick back. Even if he loses it, just I would be okay if he went 12 and he lost in the UD or SD. I wouldn't even care. But at least we know, like, nah, because there's a lot of people trying EJ right now. Like, they are running his name through the dirt. And it's like, yo,
Especially
did y'all forget that this is the
Thurman.
same man that cleared out the David? Like, How could y'all even be saying this stuff about him right now?
And Thurman, he talking big shit right now. Like Thurman,
Super big stuff.
and that's why Clarissa Shields calling his ass out, talking about she'll beat him and everything. But Thurman done showed me that, bro, he's a coward. He talked big shit about Stephen Fulton, talking about anyway you beat that man, like he punched like a bitch and all this shit right there. Like Thurman talking shit about all these great fighters that put their O on the line, that went out there and tried to do greatness and fight. But Thurman, we still remember you had a chance to fight Floyd Mayweather. But all you had to do was fight Earl Spence. Floyd said he'll put his belt up for y'all to fight each other, and then if you win, he'll fight you. You talk about nah, I'm not fighting that. You ducked out on Spence. Then you told Spence to get a belt. He went and got Kell Brooks' belt. He was trying to unify with your ass, and you kept ducking and running around the Rosie. Then you got knocked out by you got knocked down and dropped by a 40-year-old Pacquiao with T-Rex arms, as you say. So you sitting there picking at Earl and talking shit about his accomplishment and Stephen Fulton, but you had a damn senior citizen beating on your ass. So like, dude, you gotta let that shit go.
Right, and I think that that's just trying to create a buzz because let's be honest, like even though Keith Thurman is still like known in the boxing world, he haven't had a buzz like this in a very long time.
He
And a
ride
lot of these
everybody's
fighters
way.
are just attaching their name to this fight. You know, go ahead.
That's all they do. They riding there. Everybody riding Earl's wave and shit. Like they riding the damn wave, like trying to be seen and shit. Like you had a chance to fight, you didn't want to fight. Now you acting like you want to fight. Now, dude, stop. You a coward, dog. Like you a coward.
Yeah,
Keith run.
nobody's taking Keith Thurman seriously, man. I don't even think he's worth talking about. He needs to
Like they
get back
trying
to
to give you
working.
the boots fight. Go ahead and take the boots fight, Thurman. Keith run time. If you want to get back in there, take the boots fight. The man calling you out.
Speaking of, I hope that they give shout out to Boots and Bozy Ennis. I hope that they give Boots his chance soon because he is a good fighter, and I do think that once this died down with Bud and Errol, like he's because you know one man leaves, it's the next man up, and I do believe that that will be Boots in that division, even going up to 154.
Oh
I,
yeah,
I agree with you. I just
Boots
don't
got
think.
a bright future. Young dude. That's what I like about Boots. He's still young. Like he's like 24, 25. He's still very young. People don't even know that. And he got over 30 fights already. He young.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's dangerous though. With Boots, that's dangerous because the fact that he got that many fights and he's young like that, and what he just did to the last dude he fought, that kind of stopped the dude that he was supposed to be set up to fight. Boots, like I said earlier, man, Boots, it's gonna be a tough road for Boots to get big fights because they see how dangerous that man is.
Well, you
Like you know what I
know,
mean?
I think.
Rashidi Ellis beat that dude the same way for the first blasting him. He was hitting him with all types of beautiful shots, just beating him down. But Rashidi Ellis ran out of gas. And see,
Bad.
Ramon Villa thought Boots was going to run out of gas. That's what he was sitting there waiting for. But Boots
Mm-hmm.
still had stamina on his ass. And then he started to pound him. See, he thought Boots was going to get tired and he was going to be able to do him like he did Rashidi Ellis. But Rashidi Ellis actually won that fight. If you go back and look, he won 8 rounds to 4, but got knocked down twice. But the PBC seen that Rashidi Ellis had vulnerabilities, and you know they think black and brown fighting is
Yeah.
better selling than 2 black people fighting. So they went ahead and made that call. Rashidi got the loss, and they set Ramon Villa up with Boots. That's how that happened.
Yeah. I would like to see Boots against a Stanionis or somebody. I don't think he's gonna get either one, a Bud or
Stanionis is
those
just
guys
like
are
that
moving up.
Ramon Villa. I want to see him
Huh?
against somebody. Ramon Villa and Stanionis is basically the same type of fight. Like Stanionis
I
would be
mean,
the
I'm just saying because the name value. I think Stanionis has a little bit more to offer than a Villa, but he's just not gonna get the Bud or Spence fight. It's
well,
not
you
gonna
know,
happen.
Villa had more knockouts. Like he had knockout. He was a dangerous puncher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stanionis ain't got that knockout power. Like Stanionis is like he's like a Bivol. He's like a smaller weight class Bivol. He got the high guard. He got a good jab. He's technically sound. He comes forward, but he ain't really got that knock you out power. I mean, he got respectable power, and you know he can accumulate and put you down, but it ain't that Showtime pow. He ain't got that right there.
Well, let's see him against the Ugas then, because I don't see anybody else that he's gonna fight with name value in that division.
Well,
I
he
mean,
might get the
Besides
winner.
Boots.
He might get the winner of Thurman and Ugas because Thurman and Ugas about to fight.
Yeah, if that fight goes down, he can get the winner of that. I don't see him getting. He's not gonna get the top guys because those guys are gonna move up, so he'll have to play catch up. But by the time he's able to clean out the 147 division, those guys have probably been retired, and he can go and do something at 154. That's what I think.
It's a few.
Honestly, that's what I think. Um, Boots should be chasing. I think he should be trying to just instead of calling those guys out, just chase the belts, become undisputed, clean that division out, go to 154, do the same thing.
I don't know. I see what you're saying. I think that was
Hell yes,
Karate.
Suwa. I
I
want to
think
see
that
Clarissa fight Shadeja Green as well, but I think Shadeja gonna fight old girl.
Yeah, Savannah Marshall. Savannah
Savannah
Marshall.
Marshall about to get knocked out. I'm going to record to say that Shadeja Green is a monster.
I don't know, UE man. I don't know.
I did
That lady
videos on
that
her.
that movement that girl had kind of bothered her. I didn't like what I saw. Um, and Marshall kind of moves, and she has power. We'll see, but I
I
don't know.
did
I'm
videos
not
on
really sold
Shadeja
on Clarissa
Green.
yet. Huh?
I've done videos on Shadeja Green. I've had Shadeja Green on my female pound for pound list years ago when people didn't even know who she was.
Yeah.
Like Clarissa really don't want to get in the ring with that girl, man. Honestly,
I
Shadeja
think
Green,
Clarissa needs to
she's
sit
a
down, man.
nightmare. She's a nightmare. Y'all will see. She gonna put Savannah Marshall in the dirt.
Yeah, she definitely has the power, man. She catch her on her chin. She can ice her.
Yeah, she hit like a dude, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, she does hit hard.
I think
No.
that to piggyback off of what Karate Body was saying about Boots and maybe fighting the other guys and everything else. I think that when you pose a threat and you're doing the same thing that they have done in their career, and you're I think he's the mandatory for one of the belts. I don't think he's mandatory for all for
IBF.
both the
It's the
yes,
He's
yes.
the
IBF.
IBF intern.
Right.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is you you kind of I feel where he's coming from because in order to like prove yourself because that's what and this is like the first I say like the first year or maybe two I just keep hearing that prove yourself like no when these guys get in the ring or when they sign their name on a dotted line to be professional boxers that's them proving themselves. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the most this like it's no guarantee that you'll make it out the ring. So he's already proven himself just by checking that box off. And then on top of that, the boy is 25. Well, the man is 25 with 30 wins already. With a high knockout percentage matching um Bud and EJ. So it's like what more can he do? Because nobody else is lining up to fight him. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like even though that Villa fight was good, like I felt like okay, they had to put him up in there with somebody. That I'm pretty sure that was not his.
So
That,
Showtime ain't trying to pay, and he's a
mm,
Showtime fighter.
well, whoa,
Showtime
bro.
has to invest in him and send the check out. Like Showtime has to show that he's the future and start investing in him and paying his opponent some money so they can get in the ring. Like Showtime ain't really trying to kick out no money on Boots yet because he hasn't proven himself as a pay-per-view star. That Karen Kukadajian fight, that was him. He was on that tank car. He was supposed to elevate himself and make himself a pay-per-view name, but you see he fucked up in that fight. So that hurt his stock a little bit.
Man, you might as well just elevate. You can just elevate boost to the champion. I mean, because if EJ and Crawford and Bud was having a tough time making 147, like they both were saying, they both moving up to 154. If they move up, I mean, what's the likelihood of Bud moving back down to 147 after moving up to a more comfortable weight? Like, you know what I mean? So Boots is gonna probably be the full champion sometime soon. And I mean, looking for a fight, he won't have to look for a fight because I mean, his mandatory is going to already be there.
They're not coming back down. It sounded
nah.
good. But
Right.
that's why I said Charlo ain't coming back to 154. He might come to 160, but he ain't coming back to 154. Like once you done been up there, and like Crawford, they said Crawford having problems making weight too. Once he get up there in a comfortable weight division, and he see how comfortable that weight camp was, motherfuckers ain't about to push their body back through that damn torture just to make 147. Hell no.
Right. Right. For what? Because you've already accomplished what you accomplished. So what's the point?
And if motherfuckers
I
want to
agree with
fight you,
that.
fight
Yeah,
you.
that's what. That's
You got a name now, so you got fighters that's gonna come seek you out because you got the name. Like you remember Fundora said he'll go down to 147 just to fight EJ. And Tim Zoo said he wanted EJ at that time, because he he's the money man. Like for that bag, motherfuckers will do shit and travel for you. Like motherfuckers will come up in weight, down in weight, because a lot of fighters don't even see $1 million in a fight. Y'all gotta realize only a select few fighters get $1 million fights. Like most of these fighters fight for 100,000, maybe 150,000. Like Tim Zoo ain't got $1 million check yet for a fight. That's why he's out here calling people he's trying to get to the bag. He's trying to get Fundora with money. Y'all gotta realize boxers don't get paid like that unless you making that damn bread. Jermell Charlo finally got his first payday against Brian Castano. And it was a decent payday, but now he about to get an even super payday with Canelo. And see, that's what I'm trying to tell people. Al Heyman, he helps his people get. But you got to have money in the fight to make. If the fight don't generate no capital, they can't give you money out of nothing. You feel what I'm saying?
I think these fighters can help their stock by maybe, having a YouTube channel, being more active on their social media. That'll help them. That'll help build their stock. That's what's
Ryan
lacking.
Garcia and Tank Davis showed you how to do it.
Yeah,
They showed
because
you how to
There
go
you go,
to the
Upper.
platforms.
right, because promotional company boxing is a niche sport, so the promoters aren't putting the money into the fighters like that anymore. So it's up to them to sell themselves and become a
Especially
fan.
the PBC.
Yeah, maybe
With the
show up to some
PBC, you
sports
got to sell
events and stuff
yourself
like
on the
that.
PBC. Because on the PBC, everybody private contractors. So if you're on the PBC, you definitely got to sell yourself. You eat what you kill over there. So that's why most people go to Top Rank to build their name up. And then after you get your name up, then you switch over to PBC. Because now you can promote yourself and you can get that back end money. See, when you're in places like the Zone and Top Rank, you get the guarantees you don't get that back end money. Because they got a budget. So they budget you out and they pay you according to the budget. Because the network pays them and then they get paid and they pay you. But PBC, they private contractors, a private contracted entity. So whatever you make, that's what you get. Like they don't
I,
have employees. Even the party planners, the people that prepare for the fights, they all private contractors too. That's TGB Promotions. Those are people that come and get the fight set up and all that shit. Because they even private contractors. So PBC doesn't have no overhead like Top Rank. So they don't have employees they got to pay all the time. You feel what I'm
I
saying?
wonder how I get what you're saying, Upper. I wonder how that's works out with PBC though. I would love to sit in one of their board meetings because at the end of the day, like what I seen with the Ryan and Tank fight, it was so many hands in a pot. You get what I'm saying? So although they
That
generated
was Showtime. That was
I'm sorry.
Showtime.
Okay, yeah, Showtime. I'm sorry, with Showtime. Although they generated over, I want to say like 110 million plus I
They
wonder
had
how that works
110
when you have
million. They
GT.
had
There was
110. They had 110 million on pay per view. Plus, they had
right,
that $22 million gate.
right, correct, and we still don't know the zone's number. We still don't know that because I guess there was some
The
funny
zone
business going
had
on with that.
200. The zone had like under 250,000 pay per view buys. The zone didn't have over 300,000 pay per view buys. That's why they got upset because they seen the PVC had like $1.2 million in paper. I mean, 1.2 million pay per view buys, and they even was selling the pay per views cheaper than PVC. But they was upset. That's why they made Ryan Garcia pay them $200,000 and everything. Like, I don't know what they upset for because they got a free pay-per-view, really. Because they didn't really have to do shit. They got a free pay-per-view streaming and got 200,000 pay-per-view buys. Like, that
When
was free money for them. But and Oscar De La Hoya should have paid that thing because Ryan is not signed to damn the zone. He signed the Golden Boy. Oscar got to deal with the zone. But they did some fluky shit and made Ryan have to pay the bill to the zone, which I think was some BS, honestly.
No, that is some BS, but I just find it very interesting because that night when the fight aired, they didn't even. It was so many people complaining about that site crashing with the zone, and so they were saying they must have just released those numbers because for a while you didn't hear them releasing those numbers because there was so many people trying to get their money back. That's what I was hearing.
Yeah.
But my point was with all those when they were announcing that fight, it was so many promoters, so many companies involved. So I'm just really interested to know what the bottom line, what was the exact number that the company really took away with.
Well, with the PBC, you ain't gonna never know the exact number because
Yeah, I know that's why I said I would have to be
Like
bored.
Adrian Broner say, Al good at putting that money up. You feel me? Al's good at putting up that money, so you can do what you need to do with it. You understand?
Right, right. No, I definitely get that. I definitely get that. Well, hopefully they'll start putting some money and investing into boots. But that was a great comment about, start tapping into different avenues. Because that's one thing about these boxers. Some of them, the majority of them, they do not utilize the tools of social media and really like sit down and connect with their fans. I think if you were to do that, it'd be a whole different ball game.
Yeah, because just look at the lead up to this fight. Look at how many more
Right.
followers Ethan and Bud got just off of this. Just them being normal. Nothing's they're not animated. They weren't doing the trash talking, but they connected with the fans, and so many people
But
were
if they
talking about
would have did that, they would have got more pay-per-view buys. But I respect the fact that they was real. And like I
it.
told
Yeah,
y'all, I told everybody on this channel, I said they'd do about 750. Everybody was saying like 1 million, 2 million. I figured that, their fan base would pull in about 700, 750. And it did. But we
yeah.
also had some people that was streaming the fights. You know what I'm saying? And I remember old boy came over here the other day and like I told him, nigga, it was a big fight. Why the hell you streaming it for 100 people? Like
I,
shit.
man, I don't understand why they still do that, man. Like, why they like? I don't understand why they don't take these streaming devices and when it's a certain event coming up, put a blocker or put a charge on there so
Nah,
people
then
can't stream it like that.
you got some YouTubers, bro, that'll sit
Yeah,
there on motherfucking Instagram and screen the fight for people
yeah,
to watch. Just to get cash apps and damn motherfucking damn super chats and shit. You know what I'm saying? But they swear that they for the culture and they swear that they rock with EJ and them, but nigga, you stealing from them basically. And
Right.
then try to come over here talking about everybody in my chat bought it. No, the fuck they didn't. Cause I seen the thing. I went over it and I seen all the people that was streaming the fight with you. Like they was watching you. Now I don't mind you doing that shit with Top Rank and the zone and them because they putting on fights we didn't ask for. But this is a fight that we asked for. Everybody wanted this fight. And you sitting here damn streaming the shit. Like I don't rock with shit like that.
yeah. I think this fight should have definitely did bigger than Tank and Garcia, because this was a real boxing match. This was one for the ages. This is something that meant something. But I'm just glad those brothers got paid, man. That I'm definitely proud because like you were saying, we have a lot of the it's not just PBC that's guilty of it, but they are like a catalyst with the whole brown versus black thing, and to see something where it's two of our own getting up
But you
there
know
and fighting,
something?
making that kind of money. You know what
The
I'm saying?
pay
So
per view really don't like. That's why they do the pay per view in dollars. Like they said, Earl and Crawford brought in 55 million, right?
right.
because they would have brought in more. But the UK people bought the fight too, and it only cost them
Yeah, it
£25.
don't cost them nothing. Yeah, it's like $10.
Now £25 is like
Oh,
$35,
25 pounds. Yeah,
$36.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, but see, that's more eyes though, so you can't get mad
Yeah,
about it because they could have streamed it like they did Wilder Fury. So
yeah. I mean, this was a success, and hopefully we start getting more fights. That's all we've been
yeah,
screaming
that's a
for.
success because each fighter coming away with about 30-35 million dollars. That's more than
Mhm.
Crawford's made his whole career combined.
Right.
EJ's done made that because he got 17 million with Mikey. And with Sean and Ugas and Danny, he made like 8 to 10 in each one of them. So he's done made about this much before. But Crawford's never made all this money.
Well, I wonder, too, did the delay of the fight happen and have something to do with the numbers as well? With everything that was going on with the negotiations behind the scene, and because I do see some folks saying that what if it would have happened last year, like we thought it was going to happen originally? Would it have done more? I myself, I think that it would have
Yeah, because
done
it was hot.
more if it would have happened last year.
It was coming right off. It was coming right off the toes of Earl doing that big ass shit that Ugas. Everybody was ready. Some people say this fight overcooked. I don't know. I mean,
I think it did just a little bit, but I think we got the numbers we would have gotten. I mean, you might be right, Key. It might be off a little bit, but
we probably would have got
um,
about 800. Probably about
yeah,
800.
yeah, I don't think it was that far off. I mean, as soon as much people were saying they were tired and they didn't want to talk about the fight no more, as soon as the fight was signed, everybody was
Everybody
still
was still on it. That's why I say we get
everybody
about
was on
700, 750 because I was gauging the crowds.
it. Yeah,
And like I was looking at the crowds and just looking at like you drop a video on Spence and Crawford and you see the numbers that shit do. And like some people was dropping videos that shit do like 400,000-500,000 views.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
like, okay, so you got at least 500,000 people that's ready to watch. So you're gonna get at least 500,000 on that pay-per-view, at least.
yeah.
That's how I was looking at it.
I think it would have done more if it would have happened last year because of the momentum that Earl had with what he did to Ugas and with Bud coming in. I myself
And
think
Bud
that
was
it would
coming
have
off
done.
that Sean Porter. Bud
Yes,
was
I think
coming
that
off
it
the
would have.
Sean Porter knockout, and Earl was coming off the Ugas knockout because Bud had fought like 4 months prior with the Sean Porter. So yeah, it would have been straight.
I think it
Yeah.
could have cracked. I think it could have cracked a million at least. No less than 850 to 9.
I think they could have promoted it better too, like different
Yeah.
platforms. Like Bud has connections with ESPN. That's the biggest world leader in sports. Like they could have did some shit with Stephen A. Smith. They could have did all types of shit with ESPN. Like hell, you could have cut ESPN in on a promotional deal. You feel what I'm saying? Like you ain't got to give
I,
them much. Just like give ESPN a promotional deal. Let them have a commentator or two over there. And
you know what?
ESPN can back your play. Like shit.
With the rematch, I wonder if they're gonna tour more cities because they only hit LA and New York so far.
They
They
hit
could
New
have hit
York.
Texas
They
up.
hit
They could have hit Texas up. They could have probably even did something in Nebraska. Like get the fan. These guys have diehard fan bases from
You
their
see what
city.
Floyd went on his tours. Floyd went
Hmm.
across the country. He went
Yeah,
across. He went to England. Floyd
right.
went across the waters and every damn thing. He was an international star. Like Earl has fans over there in England. He went over there and damn beat Kell Brook. And Bud done fought in England as well. Like
Yeah, he
shit.
fought what's his name?
Appeal to Ricky Burns.
Yeah, Ricky Burns. There you go.
But appeal to some of these damn fans. Like
Yeah,
shit.
but that's what I was saying. These promotional companies aren't about really investing the money like that. They're looking, they want to get the most out of it with the least amount of work. So it's up to the
Exactly.
fighters to promote themselves beforehand. That way, if they're not gonna promote, because you want to fill your pockets up to the best way you can.
Yeah,
So
you want to
promote
make
yourself.
generational wealth because you
Yeah,
never know when it's
exactly.
your last fight.
Yeah,
You never know when it's your last fight. And
exactly.
you got your
But
family to take care of.
Right.
I think too. I think what happened is um, the risk and the reward of it. Like so, although they didn't really do good of a job as promotion, we still haven't. I mean, let's be honest. The last time we had two black fighters of this magnitude going against each other was when Floyd versus
Mosley.
Shane, maybe.
Tyson and
Mosley.
Holyfield or
But that,
Lennox Lewis.
Exactly.
I
So
was gonna
Tyson
say,
and
yeah, that
Holyfield was
one.
up there.
we can't really, like, they can't really say, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do this, because at the end of the day, we haven't had this type of fight in a long time. But one thing I will guarantee you, though, is that I have a feeling that the second match is going to be, if there is going to be a rematch, it's going to be announced around that Canelo and Charlo. You know what I'm saying? The game to garner up the buzz again. And I guarantee you that everybody is going to tap into this, because that 650 to 700K, they know that it's going to double, because to be honest with y'all, and it's unfortunate that I'm saying
Wilder
this,
Fury.
yes, because they're going to want to see if Bud is going to be able to do that to Earl again, and
Yeah,
what type of
exactly.
answer is Earl going to
People,
have to him.
And
exactly.
y'all
People gonna want
remember
to see it.
every time a sequel always do better. Holyfield
Mhm.
Bow 2, Tyson and Holyfield 2, Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis Rockman 2. We had Fury and Tyson 2. Fury and Wilder 2. Like the sequel always do good. Like Triple G and Canelo Part 2. That
Right.
shit did numbers. Like
I,
rematch is always the blockbuster.
yeah.
But what
I
kind of
really wish.
what kind of stage are you setting for the sequel though? Like, are you setting the stage back at T-Mobile? Are you setting it at MGM Grand? You know what I mean? What kind of stage are you setting? Because the sequel, because I know when I don't know if that was the first fight or the second fight when the dude flew through the ceiling with the little
Oh,
parachute.
that was MGM.
That was
I
the
remember that.
MGM. So
Yeah.
you got to have a big stage. So where are they gonna set that at? Even if they announce it at the Canelo versus Charlo fight, which we thought they was gonna announce it at the Garcia versus Tank fight, and then they didn't do it. But if you announce it at that time, you know what I mean, you got to really have a big you got to have a big stage for it. Where you gonna set? Where y'all see them setting that at?
Because Canelo and Charlo, that's gonna be over 1 million pay-per-view buys easy.
Yeah, that's
Canelo, he does his numbers. His fans show up. Like even with the Triple G fight, 1.2 million. Him versus Caleb Plant was 800,000.
yeah,
Him
yeah.
versus
Taylor
Bivol,
Flint.
him and Bivol was 500,000 on the zone. And that's a fucked up place. People don't like buying it over the zone. But now he's on Showtime PBC. He did numbers over there. That's why he came back.
Yeah.
Because he know this is a better platform, and he seen Tank and Ryan get that bread. So Canelo, he said he's still the face of boxing. And this is the first time he's done fought a slick fighter since Austin Trout and Erislandy Lara. So,
but why y'all whip up? Why y'all keeps it? You said that earlier. You said the slick. Y'all, you don't think Danny Jacobs was a slick fighter?
Danny Jacobs he was the miracle man. He was already through it, man. Like after he lost Canelo, he lost the John Ryder, bro. Danny Jacobs was out of it, bro.
They did have
I think Jacobs he showed up for a check, man. I don't even think he came to win.
Yeah, he just wanted a damn check.
He was happy to share the ring, man.
Pavlik knocked that nigga out. That white boy beat the shit out of Danny Jacobs, man. Knocked his ass out.
I had Jacobs winning that fight.
I mean, look, the president for the belt, he stood up like, what the fuck? Because, Danny Jacobs was going to be their man for that belt.
Oh, you talking about Pirog?
Yeah.
Yeah, but was good, man.
No, but he had a lot going on that day.
Gilbert Mendoza was like, what the fuck? Like, everybody was shocked that day. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had a lot going on before that Pirog fight, though. I think his grandmother or somebody passed away. Like, he had a lot going on before that fight, but I remember that fight.
You can't have no excuse when you get in that ring, though.
I don't know, man.
Just like we say to Earl, can't have no excuse.
I don't want to see EJ getting right back in there. I want to see how he looks.
Well, I mean, he's active right now. He just had a fight, so
No, I'm talking about EJ. I'm talking about EJ.
I said he's active right now.
I don't want to see him get right back in there. I want to see what he looks like.
Well, I don't want him to take no layoff though.
No layoff. Just get a fight in between.
Well, that's not how they do it though. All big fights.
That's not the way that thing's set up.
Yeah, I know.
That's not how they do it, man. When Lennox Lewis lost to Oliver McCall, did he rematch him right away, or did he have some fights in between? I'm not sure.
Right away.
And then he lost to Rottman and went right back to that one. Like, bro, big fights, they go right back into it. Like
AJ lost the Ruiz. Old boy came right back in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
Believe
get
it,
right
man.
back in there, bro. You
That
ain't got
man
no
wasn't even
time to get
champion
no
for
2
5
months.
No,
months.
I get that. I'm just saying off of how he looked. I want to see if there's something there, or was that just caused by, maybe him being drained and stuff like that.
Bro,
That's all.
bro, it was a little bit of both, man. It was a little bit. It's the fact that Crawford. You know what? Crawford is he is what I thought he was, bro. I even know all of the stuff people say. Even I say myself, some fishy might have went on, but he is who I thought he was. He's a great fighter, but he also could have been with the weight drain and the inactivity and some
That's what
other
I'm
stuff
saying.
went on.
That's what I think it was. But I just want to know if he's psychologically if he's okay.
Hey, y'all go ahead.
I mean,
We,
this
we
the
done
only
been on
reason.
here for I done been on here for 2 hours. Y'all go ahead and give y'all last statement. We're gonna get back on here tomorrow.
All right, man. It was nice sharing the panel with y'all. UE, thank you for having me, man.
Hey man, anytime I'm up, Karate
Well,
Body, you can hop up here, bro. You know it's open
yeah,
panel,
man.
bro. This
It's
is a
good to
sports
have some.
bar.
Yeah, chop it up, have some boxing talk. Hope I see y'all again. You know what I'm saying? Let's
We'll be here tomorrow.
discuss boxing and let's grow the sport.
Yeah, I'm up. I come on every day.
Yeah.
People's choice. Give your last train of thought, bro. Appreciate that
Man,
time.
yes, sir, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate the outlet, man. The channel, man. Like I said, I've been watching y'all for a minute, man. I'm always watching in the background, man. But I appreciate the channel, man. Appreciate you up, man. Appreciate everybody else, man.
Yeah,
All right, the lovely Key Alexandra. Give us your last thoughts, Princess.
Thank you for having me as always, Upper. Shout out to the panel. I don't think that I'm gonna just say this. I don't think that Earl should do a tune-up fight. For the simple fact that it's a liability, because you don't want him to get hurt in that tune-up fight and can't fulfill those obligations of the contract. Only time will tell if there's a rematch announced, whether he's in the right headspace or not. But I do get what Karate Body is saying. As always, it's man down, Team Spence. I'ma always support him, regardless of how he chooses to go. What his career path that he decides to set forth. I'ma definitely support him. Shout out to the chat. Thank you, Upper, and I'll see you guys later.
All right. I want to say salute to the baddest chat out here. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming through. And like I said, the panel's open for everybody so we can spread this boxing talk. Salute to my head moderator, Shawar Allah. Appreciate you, Princess. And appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming out there. Man down, salute, Jace. Hey, Jace, before I go, hold on, man. Before I go, my man Jace be in here holding it down. Hold on. He a Bud fan, but he be holding it down. Let me get him right before I go. There we go. And I just want to say, man down till I stand down. It's strap season. Wait till we get back. And y'all know how we do. We about to blow it before we get up out of here, man. You know how we end it out.
They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-pound rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK to anybody kill. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split 'em. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops Draco. I got them all, you don't want no. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, you know I blew it. They call me such a monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leaving nigga. I think this pussy leaving nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sonny Monster for a reason.